Hey, I'm back at the AACA Fall Swap Meet. This is the largest swap meet in the world, in case you didn't see my video from last year. Anyway, it's always a joy to be here, and we're going to go out and walk around and see what kind of treasures we can find. I don't have the broken wrist this year, so I'm able to actually hopefully sell a few things. Anyway, let's walk around and see what we got. All right, first thing that caught my eye is this really cool wagon. It's got like a little hood ornament dealy there, and it's got a headlight on it. And the fender skirts are great. Apparently limited production. I don't know. It's just a cool thing. Here's a very nice TT truck for sale for a very reasonable $3,000. It's got an engine in there. I don't know. Looks like a runner to me. Anyway, the cab needs, I don't know, maybe a little patch panel back there, but yeah, that's very doable. You can build whatever kind of bed you want on there. Nice truck. Let's go out hunting and see what else we can find. The Packard Museum in Dayton is here with this very nice 1940 Super 8. I should stop in and visit. I've never actually been there. Maybe do a video. Across the aisle, we've got a whole tent of nothing but Packard stuff. So looks like if you're working on a Packard, this is the place you want to be. Here's an interesting car back over here. Let's check this out. It is, as it turns out, a 1927 Hupmobile asking $10,000. That, I don't know, seems like a reasonable price. It looks like it's in pretty good condition. Let's go and take a look and see what the inside looks like. It's looks all done to me. Nice car, actually. I think 10,000 OBO is probably a good deal. Here's an interesting little car body sitting on the floor. Let's see what that is. It's a 3/4 midget body. Only $325. That seems really reasonable. But, you know, old car stuff is kind of my vice. Here's something interesting. Let's go check this out. We got a Model T. There's no price on this. We've got a brass radiator, a 1926-7 Roadster. The engine is not 26-7. That's a little bit earlier, so it's kind of a put-together thing. But you know what? That's okay. There really are no rules. If you put together a bunch of parts and it's a fun car to drive, then, hey, more power to you. Anyway, a nice little start for a Roadster pickup project for somebody. Let's see what else we've got. Hey, look, more parts. There's one of those Model T Ford hand crank coil testers. I always think those are neat. Looks like we got a whole booth full of Model T stuff, including an entire front neck overhead valve system for $5,500. That's, I don't know, that's probably about market on those. Really interesting. Square body. All right, let's take a look at this 1939 Wanderer. That's a German pre-war motorcycle company. They make up one of the four rings in Auto Union that then became Audi. But this is just really neat. He was asking $3,800, which I thought was very reasonable. It's got the original German license plate on there. He told me K was specifically for Berlin and the B was official use. But anyway, just really a neat motorcycle here. 1940-41 Packard grill with all the gauges. Hey, what's Hershey without a little bit of apple cider? I gotta mention, just take a pause here to show that this is a ginormous show. Here's half of it that I can kind of see from the bridge. I've heard the figure that there are 20 linear miles of vendors, and I can believe it because the vendor booths just go on and on forever with endless amounts of treasure here. So if you're into anything old automotive related, especially pre-war stuff, this is the place to be. Hey, here's a museum I wasn't really familiar with, so I stopped to get their brochure. Lots of organizations have little information booths here. 32 Chevy hood for $650. Looks ready to go. We got a nice collection of vintage purses, the Victorian beaded purses. I don't know, I just always thought they were kind of neat. 1938 Packard Super 8, custom body by Durham, one of one. I don't know the price, it had already sold by the time I saw it, but I don't know, it's just a really neat car. It's got the chauffeur seating up front. I don't know, it's super cool. Plus, it's not often you see one of one car. Whole table full of early carburetors, but I was really taken with this carburetor display stand. That's super cool. It's all cast iron and looks like it was built as a carburetor display stand. He wants, I don't know, maybe more for it than I would want to pay, but it's really cool. Antique rowing machine. So that way you can not only get in shape, you can get in vintage shape. Those flapper girls don't attract themselves after all. This booth had a lot of little interesting things. I like the old street light there. Mostly this whole day consists of me just walking around looking at things saying, oh, look at that, that's neat. You got to take a drink every time I say that's neat. That's the new drinking game for Hershey. Morning. Probe X pedal car. That's a cool one. How space age is that? That's pretty neat. There's some really big magnetos, probably for a car that I suspect is more expensive than mine. Nice lamps, too. Honestly speaking, why don't I have a cool old-timey street light for a yard light out in front of my barn? I like the little mica panels. That's, I don't know, that's an above-average cool one. All right, here, I really like this concept. This lady has written a children's book about the adventures of Rosie the flower truck. This Ford pickup truck that she's transformed into a flower truck. It's a great concept that really brings auto restoration to a children's world. It's all about finding and restoring this truck and the friends that she meets along the way, Rosie and friends. Go ahead and support her. It'd be a great Christmas gift idea. I'm going to link her website in my description. There's her card if you want to pause the video too. There's a lot neat going on this bike. I really like it. Both of these bikes here are actually J.C. Higgins. That's the Sears store brand. They used the J.C. Higgins name for bicycles and also rifles because those go together. Up here we've got a Chevy 3/4 ton, a 1946. Apparently it's been really gone over and restored. They got all the information except the price. Nice 63 Avante. I always like these Raymond Loewy designs. This is the supercharged one. Some nice early cars. I believe this one is already sold, but and I didn't catch what it was, but that is one big hunk engine right there. I liked it a lot. Looks like 4 cylinders cast in great big pairs. This one had already sold too. This is a 1903 Locomobile. You see the power plant under there. That's actually a steam car, so that's a boiler. The top on this one is really sets it off, and of course we all like early steam cars anyway. Let's pull back and look at that from the back. It's just a super neat car. All right, over here for only $3,500, you can get what looks like a working cannon. It's kind of a small one, but it doesn't really need to be that big. If you want to out-artillery your neighbors, this is really the way to go. Going across the road here, we've got another little neat car. Looks like a nice race car that someone has built here. Looks kind of Model A based, although I'm not really sure. It's sold. The price on it was $29,300. Looks like a Model A radiator, but the escutcheon says Miller. Miller, of course, was the famous race car builder, so must have something fancy under the hood. I didn't talk to the owner, so I'm not really sure what he's got in there. Hey, more old bikes. I like old bicycles, so you're just going to have to live with it. This high-wheeler on the left here has a tag that calls it out as an 1884 Columbia for sale for $42,500. Here's a really neat dealer sign, a Kaiser Fraser, so this would be late 40s or very early 50s. Super cool. He's got some other really nice dealer signs here, but I really like the Kaiser Fraser sign. That's neat. We're asking $7,500. Hey, look at all of the brand new Roadster bodies. This is the booth for Brookville Roadster. They do brand new 1932 Ford Roadster and 3-window coupe bodies, as well as frames and other parts. Just nice, high quality stuff. So if you're working on a 32 or building up a hot rod, this is a good choice because they're 100% all done and ready to go. They also do some Model A stuff too, according to their website. Anyway, they're here, and those things are always very pretty to look at. I always like looking at the vintage campers that people bring to camp in. Nice looking 53 Buick Skylark here for $20,000. All original condition, waiting to be redone. This is, of course, a convertible. So a highly desirable car there. Looking on down the road, we've got a very nice 1959 Ford. And we've got some older Fords over here. Let's go take a look at those. In the front, looks like a double A Ford pickup cab. And in the back, we've got a 1917 Model T Couplet, or Coupe, depending on how you like to pronounce it, $6,000. Kind of a rare car, and those are always neat to see, especially when they've been redone. So there's an opportunity there. Looks like somebody's already gone to the trouble of doing the wood kit on it, so that's actually a lot of work that's already been done. Maxwell radiator, and looks like maybe some other Maxwell parts. There's a lot of really rare stuff as you walk around. Here's something cool. Let's go check this out. Looks like they got the original owner still behind the wheel. This is a 1920 Dodge touring car. They're asking $4,500 for it. That seems reasonable. It looks all complete, so you won't have to be hunting for a lot of things. This is a nice car. It's the sort of thing that you want to restore mechanically, but maybe just sort of leave it and drive it as is. That's just really cool. I keep seeing these. I think crab cakes are kind of an East Coast thing. I'm not convinced. The AACA Museum is here showcasing their new collection of muscle cars like this 1969 AMX and a couple of other things. Here's an interesting Model T Speedster somebody has put together. It's a 1914, I'll believe that. It's got the brass and the black bright work on there. The windshield, this little windshield that clamps onto the steering column is called a monocle windshield, and it's just there to protect the driver's eyes as you're driving around so you don't get bugs in there. If you happen to have a passenger, I guess they're just out of luck. I thought this was really neat. We've got a Whizzer here that's been made up as a hires delivery motorcycle with the crates of soda pop on there. As I was looking at it, one lady did point out that after bouncing down the road on a motorcycle, you might want to let that root beer settle just a little bit before you open it up. That's probably a good idea. Next up, for only $16,500, you could have had this 1957 Chevrolet convertible. It was, of course, sold by the time I saw it, but that's a nice start to a project right there. Maybe needs a little bit of work. Anyway, a nice start to a project. Now, I recognize that front end from a mile away. That's a Nash Ambassador. This one here is not for sale. It's here to promote the Nash Club. That's, their magazines and everything here. But it's a nice engine. I like the air cleaner that sits over on the side. Straight 6 in there. Yep, straight 6. Anyway, nice clean car. 1930 Buick sitting back there. Another nice car, and a whole field full of nice cars. This is kind of unusual. It's a little mini Jeep. The sign says Struck Corp Mini Beep, and they're open to offers. I don't know, it looks like a fun little thing. It's got sort of motorcycle grips on there and a little engine in the back with a matching trailer. It's kind of neat. Hey, I'm a big fan of this booth. Anyway, all joking aside, I really do like the little highly detailed antique steam engines. Those are neat. This one is a Bing engine. He's asking $4,800. Anyway, that's really cool. I like stuff like that a lot. He's also got a rare fan. This is an Edison, around 1898, and runs off of battery. Looks like they definitely got a serious buyer here in the vintage clothes booth. That's a nice thing that you see around. If you don't like those bows, we got some bows here too. This guy does top bows and upholstery. I do want to point out the material he's got here. This is horsehair and was used quite a bit for upholstery in early cars And actually a lot of early furniture. I had a Victorian couch that was upholstered using this horsehair stuffing. It really kind of has a different feel than the modern foam that you would put in there. Nice lights, lots of fanciness going on here. If you walk around, they do have a really super cool piece I wanted to point out. This is a motorcycle trophy from 1938. I don't think you can read it down there in my video, but that is from a 100-mile motorcycle race in 1938, and that's the trophy for it. Here's some neat luggage. This round luggage is actually designed to fit inside the spare tire. See, there's a little picture of it in action. So you put that on inside your side mount spare tire. See that very long basket there? That's for a very early car, like pre-1910. Special basket just for your parasol. That's what that's for. Super cool Delco Light battery crate. I really like this. Actually, I've had sort of an interest in early car batteries. I'm trying to resist getting involved in some super nerdy subgenre, but I don't know. It's just I've had an interest in old batteries. I have to stop. Oldie Indian motorcycle. I thought this was cool. This is the sort of thing, this is why I don't have any money, or if I was rich, I wouldn't be rich for very long because I would spend it on things like this. This caught my eye for some reason. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's a really old motor. It's a Howell electric motor, and it's got two squirrel cage blowers, one on each side. I don't know. It's a mystery. E3 Packard project. 1913 Pierce Arrow 66. Yes, that was a full-grown man standing next to it. This is a massive car. Look at, we've got a, looks like a straight 6 cylinders cast in pairs. Just a massive car. Pierce Arrow, of course, was the top of the food chain at this time. A whole booth full of EMF parts. EMF, of course, was around only from 1909 to 1912. They were taken over by Studebaker, who wanted to offer a gas-powered car. Here's the Horseless Carriage Club of America. This is the club for pre-1916 cars, so the HCCA is for early cars. And here is one. This is a Thomas removable rear entrance tonneau. There in the back, you can see that you get into the back seats through the little door right in the middle there, and the whole rear seats can be removed to make this into a roadster. There we get a good look at the engine amidships. I think this is a single cylinder. Is there another cylinder? No, this is just a single cylinder engine with a big giant flywheel, chain drive. This oiler here, like on many early cars, you can set the drips per minute of oil going to the various parts of the engine. Thomas, of course, is famous for making the Thomas Flyer, the New York to Paris race winner. Here's another little Jeep, sticking with the Jeep but smaller theme. This one is a Bama buggy for 1900. Someone was camping in this Dodge van-based camper. This is really cool. I'm not sure if that's an extended wheelbase or not. It might be, but it's really nice. Explorer. I'm not sure if I've ever seen one of these, but the metal one on it is great. Willie's Whippet parts. Lang's Model T parts is here. They're, of course, the big supplier for Model T parts, and they have a catalog. They've got this really neat K.R. Wilson rear axle stand here for Model Ts, Model As, and Ford V8s. That's just super cool. They've got some other early stands here. They've got another K.R. Wilson, some kind of an engine stand here. I think that's K.R. Wilson. I might be wrong. Didn't bring any of their new catalog stuff, but they sure did bring a lot of vintage Model T parts and a lot of the good stuff that is hard to find. They brought actually quite a bit. Hey, remember that couplet from a couple of minutes ago? Here's one that's all been redone. I told you that they look neat when they're finished. Well, here's a cool little thing. Look at this neat little trailer. It's got little tail fins on there and everything. I don't remember seeing one of these before. This is a 1963 Austin Healey Vagabond trailer. That's pretty neat. Hey, by the way, my apologies if you get a little sun glare in some of my shots. It's in the mid-80s and there is not a cloud in the sky, so I'll try and avoid the glare as much as I can, but sorry about that. It's just sun. Here I am way over in the Redfield Annex, which is like the far, far corner of the swap meet. If you go to this swap meet, be sure you hit the Redfield Annex. People way over here need love too. This guy's got a collection of little belt-powered toys. I always thought that those were pretty neat. I had some, but I sold them. Root beer floats. Interesting. It is 86 and full sun out here after all. Maybe I should treat myself. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk along this line of trees in the shade for a while and see where that takes me. I think that's a good plan. It looks like it's actually going to take me over to an interesting car. Let's go check out and see what we're dealing with over here. As it turns out, this is a 1930 Nash that has been in storage since 1952. Looks like a very original car. They've got some extra parts over behind it here, asking $9,000. But I don't know. That'd be kind of neat. You like old vans? Here's a 1978 Chevy van. This is a single owner with 67,000 original miles, asking $47,000 for it. This is an original four-wheel drive van. I don't know, that's kind of neat. Looks like it's converted there. This is a 1930 Oakland. Oakland, of course, is the senior brand to Pontiac, but this is a Indy race car tribute vehicle that's been built up to duplicate one that actually did race at Indy. He's asking $89,900 for it, but he says that's just a barely break-even price. Kendall, the 2,000-mile motor oil. I think it amuses me that they still use that 2 logo. Anyway, there's a lot of nice signs along here. Here's a neat little orange juice dispenser. That was cool. There's usually just a smattering of old boats and boat parts throughout the swap meet. This is a 1956 Whirlwind. I'm not familiar with that brand. I really like the Mercury engine that they've got on there. That's my favorite type of old engine with all the chrome on there. Looks like a really nicely done boat. Asking $5,000. Very early Oldsmobile stained glass window. You don't really see car advertising stained glass windows too much. This guy actually has a lot of really neat signs here. I really like this wooden painted sign here with the tourist home advertising a garage and home cooking. That's really neat. Also, this Wolverine camping sign. Let me see if I can get a good look at that. Also, the bus sign, 8 Points Camp. Just a lot of really nice signs. I could really get into signs if I had a little bit more money, maybe. I'm going to wrap things up with this NOS, a 1940s movie theater ticket box. That's cool. Well, that was just a small sampling of the just incredibly large amount of stuff that's here. The vendors just seem to go on forever. It takes days to actually walk the swap meet field. Anyway, I'm going to have a couple of more Hershey videos. There's a very large car corral. I'm going to do a separate video on that. That will be coming out soon. And then there's, of course, a world-class car show. And I'm going to walk the field in the car show and do another video on that. So those should be fun and something to look forward to. Please do subscribe to the channel. There should be a little link right about there to subscribe to the channel. Or just check out some of my other videos. There should be a link right about there for some of my other videos. They're all equally as fun. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.